Hey everyone, I'm Heather and welcome back to my channel. So we are back today with the Radiance. In the last one, it was our last tutoring session, but we did not get to complete it because Arian was sick. So we are now on our own with our powers. So let's go ahead and get started. I am shocked to find Gray not only in the Azurite class, but actually early. He's seated in the chair I usually sit in, and there's a girl I don't recognize leaning over his desk, laughing about something he's saying. He doesn't look like he minds the attention. My dream from the other night comes flooding back into my mind, and I suddenly feel uncomfortable. I glance behind me, wondering if I have a chance to bolt for the door before Gray sees me. Too late, his eyes catch mine and he motions me over to him. "Heather, I saved you a seat." He nods his head in the direction of the seat beside him. The girl, clearly irritated by my interruption, gives me a death glare before turning her attention back to Gray. "I'll see you after class?" "Sure, whatever." She moves to exit the room, bumping into my shoulder as she passes. Gray's girlfriends sure are friendly. Gray clears his throat and pats the seat next to him, oblivious to the drama he just witnessed. I look around at the mostly empty classroom and raise my eyebrow at him. The room is full of empty seats. But this empty seat has been saved for you. I take the seat and notice he hasn't brought any books or supplies with him. I guess his level of commitment to attending class is limited to merely showing up. "So, you decided to come to class, huh? And you're even early. Are you dying? Is the world ending? Blink twice if you're being controlled." So sassy first thing in the morning, aren't we? I glare at him as if to show him exactly how sassy I could be. Anyway, yes, I did decide to come to class. On my own free will, even. What brought about this drastic change? He turns in his seat to face me fully, and there's a moment of odd silence as his eyes seem to search my face. Actually, it was a dream I had. A dream? There was something about this particular dream. I don't know, it just made me want to spend more time focusing on my abilities. Well, that's good, right? Why does this talk about dreams have me so flustered? Sure, it felt like we almost kissed in that dream, but it was just a stupid dream. I don't know. What do we want to do? I don't know if the choices make a difference, really. I guess I'll say we wish it were real. It's fine. Inside, I already know the answer. It's because I enjoyed seeing him in my dreams. Thankfully, he breaks his gaze and turns forward in his chair. Who knows how long this little trend will last, so you better enjoy my company while you still have it. How sweet of you. He leans towards me again, and I catch another whiff of his usual spicy sweet scent. I am sweet. Glad you noticed. One might say I'm sweeter than chocolate. I highly doubt that. Chocolate is kind of hard to beat. His grin broadens and he leans back, a look of accomplishment on his face. Challenge accepted. With another eye roll, I turn away from that smirking face and focus on the front of the classroom. Class begins, and I am surprised to find Gray actually paying attention to the lesson instead of whispering in my ear the entire class. Maybe he really is attempting to take his lessons a bit more seriously. Time for today's elective. Calligraphy. Today I learned more about the history of calligraphy. Composure and quickness. All right. I hear the sound of Rayla's voice coming from outside our room, followed by the sound of something being dragged across the floor. What is this? I hurry to open the door and find Rayla struggling to move a large box, as well as juggle her school books. Let me get that. I pick up the box from the floor and bring it inside. Rayla stumbles in and dumps her precarious pile of books onto her bed with a sigh. What are all those books? Research books from the library. I've got some horrible assignment in numerology due on Monday. And you just started now? What do you expect? I've got better things to do than homework. Well, more fun things to do. Rayla turns her attention to the box. Who's that from? I don't know. I thought it was yours. It's addressed to you, silly. I go over to examine the box, and sure enough, my name is written on the top with red marker. There's no sender name. Well, open it up. Cautious. What if it's dangerous? Seriously? What could it possibly be that is dangerous? I don't know. A bomb? Anthrax? A horse's head? You were so melodramatic. Just open it. I open the box gingerly, still having a funny feeling about it. Rayla is practically on top of me, peeking over my shoulder with such anticipation you'd think the box was for her instead. Inside there's a mountain of gray striped tissue paper. I dig through the paper to unearth the contents and find... chocolate? Inside is the biggest assortment of chocolate I've seen outside of a candy shop. Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, chocolate-covered cherries, even some of those fancy truffles. Who would send you a bunch of chocolate? Is there a note? Rayla starts digging into the box herself, but I already know the answer. It's from Gray. Gray? Since when is he sending you gifts? Oh, wait. Rayla produces a tiny little note card and reads it over, a look of confusion on her face. She hands the card to me. It means nothing to me. I look at the little card and read the 3 words printed in a surprisingly delicate handwriting. For comparison purposes. What's it mean? It means Gray thinks very highly of himself. What are you going to do with all this? I consider the question. This is obviously a gift, but is it right to keep it? I know if I keep this gift, Gray could assume I welcome his advances. Let's keep it. I'm going to keep it. It's a gift, right? Besides, who doesn't love chocolate? Only crazy people. You gotta help me eat some of this, though. There's enough in here for us to feast for a month. You don't have to ask me twice. Rayla practically dives into the box and produces chocolate caramel truffle. Gray has good taste. I attempt to hide the smile spreading across my face as I dig into a dark chocolate truffle. Gray has somehow wormed his way into my thoughts, and I'm not sure I mind. I'm barely out of bed on Saturday morning when there's a knock at the door. That better not be Niall again. This is the 3rd time he's come here asking to share my numerology notes. I'm not buying that excuse. Rayla propels herself off the bed and stomps towards the door, ready to shout at her little admirer. She flings the door open and I brace myself for her wrath, but she lets out a short gasp of surprise. Rayla, who is it? I peer down from my spot on my own bed, craning my neck to see who our visitor is. Then I let out a gasp of my own. Arian! Miss Ash, I hope I'm not disturbing you. Why are you here? Is something wrong? Are you feeling better? So many questions, Miss Ash. Nothing is wrong. I am feeling much better, and I came by to give you this. He hands me a small, plain white box. What is it? A token of my appreciation for your concern over my well-being on Thursday. Oh, you didn't have to. I don't need thanks for that. Just take it, Miss Ash. I must go. Have a good weekend. He doesn't wait for me to open the box. He simply nods his head and strides off down the hallway. Okay, what just happened here? What did he give you? I open the small box slowly, wondering what kind of gift Arian would give. It's a figure of an elegant woman posing in front of a crescent moon. It's carved from wood. This is one of Arian's wood carvings. Ooh, that's pretty. It is. I wonder who the woman is supposed to be. I think that's Selene, goddess of the moon. They say she fell in love with a human and gifted him eternal life. Kind of like the original Oracle. Have you managed to warm the heart of our resident Ice King? I don't know about that. I just helped him out when he was sick. He probably is just being polite. If you say so, it's a beautiful carving. I wonder where he got it. I know where he got it, but I also know he doesn't want his hobby to be public knowledge, so I just shrug. I turn the delicately carved figure over in my hands for a moment, then place it carefully on my tiny desk. Maybe I did manage to warm Arian up a little. What should I do for today? Okay. So, let's check out our profile. Our endurance, I don't know how that's up so high, but it absolutely is. So we're pretty even in all the other things that except for quickness. Quickness is not very good. Or composure. But I do think maybe we should focus more on maybe power and control. Insight is to understand, logic is to make informed decisions. Let's do control first. That may be our room again. That's logic. Charm. Yeah, that's control. Let's do this. I spend the afternoon practicing meditation, close my eyes, take a deep breath, empty my thoughts. I think I'm getting better at blocking out the outside world. Okay. Guess we'll do maybe power next. I'm walking through the halls when I spot something white on the ground. Looking closer, I notice it's a thick black envelope with a fancy wax seal. It's addressed to someone I do not know. Let's turn it in. Merits +5. This letter is obviously not meant for me, so I should turn it in so it can be delivered to the intended recipient. My leadership increased. Okay. I mean, I'm interested, but we did the best thing. On my way out of my room, I nearly trip as a figure steps directly in my walking path. Gray, do you want me to run into you? I wouldn't mind that at all, actually, but really I was just trying to get your attention. Well, mission accomplished. What do you want? I wanted to find out how you enjoyed my gift. I've barely made a dent in it. Where'd you get so many chocolates on school grounds? I have my sources. Did you find a favorite? Well, if I had to choose, I guess I'd say the dark chocolate. So you like your chocolate a little bitter, huh? Interesting. Is this supposed to be a metaphor? Only if you want it to be. Why are you always speaking in riddles? It's more fun that way. He gives his usual lazy smirk, but it doesn't quite reach his eyes. Looking more closely at him, I notice that same shadow under his eyes that I've seen before. Are you okay? Why wouldn't I be okay? You look tired. He puts his hand on his chest in mock offense. Ouch, my feelings. Are you trying to tell me I'm unattractive? I don't mean it like that. You seem very worn out lately. And for someone who doesn't spend much time on classes, I just wondered what's causing it. I am flattered that you care so much about me. But I'm fine. You're not sick or something? Not in the traditional way. See? I don't even know what that means. Why are you so frustrating? I pound my fist on his arm, punctuating every word. Gray grabs my wrists lightly, effectively stopping my assault. Hey, it's okay, I get it. I drive you crazy. I look at him warily, his hand still encircling my wrists. I'm not really used to people showing me concern. With all your admirers, I find that hard to believe. I mean it, they only see the surface, they don't really see me. I pull my wrist out of his grasp and he lets go easily. Well then, they must be blind, it's clear you haven't been sleeping. I just wanted to know why, if I could, I don't know, help in some way. You want to help me? I just said I would, didn't I? I'll keep that in mind then. He looks at me for several moments before continuing. I have some other business to attend to, so I'll leave you for now, until later. Okay. I think we decided on power. I think it might be better to push power up over 40. Power was in maybe winter. Okay, that one's locked. That's endurance, dark stairway, empty corridor, mysterious door, so it's not there. Let's try, no, it wasn't the autumn one, because we were just there. Let's do this one. Quickness, academics, theory and leadership, power. The Azurite classroom is once again full of students practicing their various skills. I spend my afternoon observing the others, attempting to learn from them. Okay. It's pretty late by the time I head back to my room. Despite being utterly underdressed for the cold, I decide to take a shortcut through the winter courtyard. I stop. What was that sound? I turn around and see some bushes swaying as if something has just excited them at top speed. But I don't see any animals around. Shrugging it off, I continue, passing into the dark corridors of the old wing. As usual, the hallways of the old wing are dark and empty. I've walked through these corridors before, but something feels different now. Shadows appear to move in my peripheral vision. I turn, but then they're gone. Stop freaking yourself out, Heather. Despite my pep talk, I speed up. Suddenly, this hallway seems impossibly long. Shadows continue to flicker in and out of my vision, and then there's a sound close to my ear. It's kind of like a breathing sound, but not exactly human. It's the same sound I heard that night in the library. I start to run, glancing behind me as I see another shadow flick past me. I've outrun this thing once, I can do it again. However, the shadow seems to move at impossible speeds, being everywhere at once. If I just keep moving, maybe it can't catch me. I feel a cold brush of something along my side, like an icy breath. I swing my arm out wildly, attempting to throw off the shadow that is now clearly touching me somehow. Is this thing just toying with me? I'm almost certain that it could completely envelop me if it wanted to. As fast as I am running, I don't seem to be able to shake it. I just need to get out of the old wing. If I can get back to where it's bright. I don't even realize that I'm running with my eyes closed until I run into a solid figure head on, sending me falling backwards. Oof. Miss Ash? A familiar voice echoes softly in the empty hall. And the hallway is empty now, I realize as I glance around wildly. The shadow creature is gone. Professor Balin? I'm so relieved to see him that I'm sure I would have run to him if I could move at all. The headmaster reaches out a hand and I take it. He pulls me to my feet and looks me over, concern all over his face. What happened? What are you doing here so late? Something is in this hallway. Some kind of person or shadow? I don't know. A shadow? It was dark, so I can't be sure what or who it was, but it was definitely following me. I felt it touch me. Professor Balin looks past me into the dark hallway. There's clearly nothing there now. He gives a short, strange whistle and pauses, waiting. I assume this must be some kind of come out command in his siren language, but nothing comes out. It's just the two of us alone in the dark hallway. Well, that is very strange, but whatever it was has clearly upset you. Why don't you head back to your dormitory? I will have someone investigate this area thoroughly. Thank you, Professor. I move towards the door on shaky legs. Professor Balin reaches out to stop me. Heather, are you truly okay? I'm not entirely sure how to answer that question, but I have to admit that finally telling someone about what I've been seeing does make me feel better. Yes, I'm okay. I feel lucky I ran into you. I'm not sure what would have happened if you hadn't been here. He puts both hands on my shoulders and looks at me seriously. I will not allow harm to come to you here at Sarenvale. You understand that, right? I nod silently. Of course I know that, but I also know that unexpected things can happen, like a shadow creature chasing me when no one else is around. Good, because if you can't feel safe here, I am not doing my job. Please come to me if you have any fears. Promise? Yes, I promise. Good, now go get some sleep. Leave this to me. And again, the headmaster has managed to make me feel completely at ease. He gives my shoulders one last squeeze before turning towards the shadowy hallway. He whistles again and the wisp Ventus appears, covering the hall with his light. At your service, sir. I slip out of the door and practically run back to my room. Alright. I'm so tired. I don't think I slept much at all last night. But I've still got to choose this week's electives. Okay. So. I think we can not do endurance this time. I think we focus maybe on power control and perhaps insight? Power control, insight, and logic. We'll try those. So, well, that one's insight and theory. Okay, so we've got that. Power and control, we want that. Well, we would do endurance anyway if we focused on logic. Okay. Okay, because it does two of them. So let's see. Logic. We're doing power control, insight and theory, logic and endurance. And we had started quickness and composure. And I guess we can continue in on quickness and composure. Okay. So that's just our regular stuff that we always do. Time for today's elective class. We continue to learn more about how to interpret birth charts in order to gain insights into a person's character's tendency and life path. Okay, insights 4. I am beyond exhausted. I've spent the day in a zombie-like daze, simply waiting for classes to be over so I could go back to bed. When I return to my room, I barely register the piece of paper taped to my door. Is it some kind of school announcement? I peel it from the door as I enter the room and casually unfold it before flopping on the bed. Did you enjoy meeting my little friend in the hallway last night? Good thing you had someone appear to protect you, the ever-important oracle to be. But do the rest of us get that kind of protection? How about the person's most special to you? How will they feel about meeting my little friend? Do you think that person will have the protection they need? Maybe we should find out. My blood turns cold as I read the words, so delicately printed on thick paper. Did Dex send me this? It's different from the other notes I've received previously. Those notes were handwritten and informal. I'm thinking it's the teacher. They also had a different tone. Those notes seemed like a warning. This one seems more like a threat. Whoever sent this, it has something to do with the shadow I saw in the old wing last night. Professor Balin must be the aforementioned protector, but who is the person they're referring to at the end? The person most special to me. I've made some connections since I came to Sarenvale. And there are definitely people I care about, but this seems like something more. More than an acquaintance or a friend, someone has been watching me closely enough to know who I care about, and they're obviously in danger, which means I need to warn them, now. Who do I go to? Okay. Who's Alice? Oh, Alistair's the ghost. Okay. I didn't realize Alistair was an option. Arian. So is this the, final, picking who you want to be with choice? I like Arian. Let's pick Arian. It's simple, really. As soon as I read the words on the paper, I knew. The first person that comes to my mind, the one who has been dominating my thoughts, is my personal tutor, Arian, the one who forced me to open my mind and discover the strength I didn't know I had. I'm not positive where exactly it happened, but I know I felt that strange allure from the moment we met. And as time went by, despite my frustrations with him, I found that I am even more drawn to him, to his power, his mind, his sheer determination. I glance towards the clock. It's 30 minutes until curfew, which means he should still be in his office. I run carelessly through the nearly empty halls. Most students have already turned in for the night, so I at least don't have to worry about knocking anyone over in my haste. What could anyone possibly do to Arian, the smartest, most powerful student at Sarenvale? The trouble is, I have no idea what this mysterious person is capable of. I'm running so fast that when I reach the door to Arian's office, I crash into it. Steadying myself, I yank furiously on the door handle, not bothering to knock. It's locked. I pound on the door fruitlessly, exhausted. He's not here. He must have already gone to his room. What if I'm too late? I lean against the door, frustration and panic overwhelming me. Just as I'm about to well up the strength to make the run across the building, the door opens, and I crash onto the office floor. Ow! Miss Ash? I look up from my place on the floor to see Arian standing over me, confusion all over his face. Arian! I scramble up, not caring about how disheveled I must look. He's here. He's okay. I wasn't too late. My previous emotions of panic dissolve into something else. Relief. I want to throw my arms around him, but I also don't want to overstep. Hug him. I let my emotions overtake me, and throw my arms around him, my face buried in his impeccably fitted coat. He doesn't move at first, clearly shocked by my sudden movement. Then I feel a hand on my back, then two. Miss Ash. I don't say anything, wanting to just savor this moment. I didn't realize how much I needed it. Arian doesn't move, hand still on my back while my breathing slows. Finally, I pull away and look up at him. I suddenly feel embarrassed at my boldness and back away, eyes falling to the floor. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump on you like that. It's quite all right. Please, sit down. Arian moves to face me, leaning almost casually on his desk. Why did you come here in such a rush? Where do I begin? Have you seen any strange shadows lately? What kind of shadows? The kind that maybe look like a person, but aren't really? The confusion on Arian's face deepens. No, I've seen nothing like that. Did you run all the way here to ask me that? It does sound silly when I say it like that. I should probably try to explain, but suddenly words feel difficult. I thought, well, I was worried you might be in trouble. Why would I be in trouble? I got a note, a threat really. The note implied that you were in danger. Someone sent you a note to tell you I'm in danger? Well, not you specifically. What exactly did it say? I hesitate, not sure exactly how I'm going to tell him why I came to the conclusion the note is about him. I can feel his eyes boring into me and I shift uneasily in my chair. I should have just lied and said he was mentioned by name. It said the person most important to me needed protection. Arian raises an eyebrow at this, but says nothing. The silence stretches between us like an impossible chasm. It feels like an eternity while I wait for him to speak. I see. That's it? That's all he has to say? I suddenly feel very stupid for coming here, for making a fool of myself in this way. I rise from the chair, legs still a little shaky. Well, it's obvious that you're okay, so I'll just see myself out. I move swiftly towards the exit, anxious to get out of here and bury myself under my covers for the rest of eternity. I've almost reached the door when I feel a strong grip on my arm. Wait. I stop but don't turn around. Arian places a hand on my other arm and spins me slowly towards him. I try to look anywhere other than his face. My cheeks feel hot and I swallow slowly, painfully. Then a soft touch grazes my chin, gently lifting my face up towards his. I look up this time and see Arian's blazing eyes focus on mine. Don't run away. I think about making excuses, about playing off my concern for his well-being, but the words don't come. The intensity of his gaze seemed to have struck me mute. Please, sit down, talk to me. His arms drop, and I feel a slight chill where the warmth of his touch has left me. He motions me back towards the chair I just vacated. Please. I sit back down, my mind a flurry of emotions. I'm not sure how much of my feelings he senses, but instead of asking me about my previous admission, he stays practical. I can't say I'm not a little relieved. Tell me about what happened. I sigh deeply before I unload most of the events of the past couple weeks. The 2 notes from Dex, the shadow following me in the library, the chase in the hallway, and the most recent note that caused me to run all the way here. Arian listens patiently without interruption, his expression unreadable. When I finally finish with my story, I throw my hands up, gesturing at the room around us. And that's why I'm here. Arian's expression darkens, anger now clearly visible on his face. Somehow I've managed to make him mad. Again. You've been going through this for weeks and nothing has been done? I blink, not expecting this response. He's not mad at me, he's mad for me. Well, to be fair, I only told the headmaster about it recently. Does he know about this threatening note? Not yet, I came straight here. You must take the note to him first thing in the morning. If this Dex person is threatening you, or someone you care about, he must be dealt with. He glosses over the someone you care about part so quickly, I feel a strange pang in my chest. I will go to Professor Balin as soon as I can, but I'm not positive Dex is responsible for all of this. Somehow, this recent note seems off. What if this shadow thing is the work of someone else entirely? Or maybe I just don't want to believe Dex would be out to kill me. Did you bring the note with you? No, I left in such a hurry. No, I left in such a hurry. That's okay, I won't need it. Need it for what? To find out what Dex is doing right now. My eyes widen as Arian moves to his seat behind his desk. He closes his eyes and takes a single deep breath. When his eyes open again, there's something different there. His gaze is directed towards me, but he is unseeing. He's using his farsight powers, I realize. I've never seen anyone else do this sort of thing before. Not like this, anyway. Is this how I look when I use my powers? Somehow I think I am probably far less composed. After a few moments, his eyes clear and he looks at me again. What did you see? He does not appear to be at Sarenvale. What? He left the school? Yes, and unfortunately, without having some idea where he may have fled to, I cannot track him with my abilities alone. I think about Professor Balin teaching me the method of tracking a person through scrying, but that method assumed that the person I was looking for was currently at Sarenvale. Dex could be anywhere. My concern must be showing on my face, because Arian leans forward, eyes surveying me carefully. The headmaster will have the resources to track him. His voice is calm, reassuring. I nod silently, still half wishing I could disappear into the floor. Are you still concerned I'm in danger? No. Yes. I don't know. Arian chuckles a bit at that, and I realize that his voice is very deep, almost gravelly. How did I not notice that before? My cheeks redden a bit, and I rub them absently, as if I can wipe away a blush. What is wrong with me? It's as if the realization that Arian is important to me has completely altered my composure. Now I'm just some simpering idiot. I need to get out of here before he realizes what a mess I am. I'd better get back. It's past curfew, you know. Arian nods and something flashes across his face. Could it be disappointment? He rises and walks with me to the exit, but when I reach to open it, he places his hand on the door, keeping it closed. Heather. I stop, looking back at him. Is this the first time he's called me by my first name? I know our official lessons have ended, but would you like to continue? To learn with me? Yeah. I'd like that. Great, then I'll see you Thursday. See you Thursday. Okay, so I guess that is where we are going to end this episode. We had some drama. We had a confession that we made, embarrassingly. I assumed that means we picked a guy, because we had that list. I'm surprised Alistair was a part of it. I'd be interested in see what that did in a different time. But yeah, I guess that's going to be everything for this time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!